What is up, everybody? It's Sam, and we are back with another episode of Pessimistic at Best, the podcast. And I have Jasen on the pod. Hey, Jasen.
Hey, Sam. Super excited to be here. Thank you for having me.
My absolute pleasure. Jasen did have to put up with a couple technical difficulties. You're a trooper.
Oh my gosh. Happy to support the team.
You're in the biz, so you know the deal.
I totally get it. We're flying at the seat of our pants.
Absolutely.
Ready. We're changeable.
We're a small operation here, so shit happens, as they say.
Yeah, but James is a superstar, and he got us all taken care of.
The man behind the scenes, and we love him for that. Yeah. Well, I'm so excited to have you on this podcast. I know it isn't your first. You're a vet.
Yeah. It's my third podcast. I'm really running the podcast game over the last 7 years.
And that is major.
Yeah. But this is the most exciting one by far.
I won't tell anybody that you said that.
Yeah, don't tell anyone that we both know.
Well, I'm excited to have you on this pod. And as we were literally just talking, I do agree that you have a perfect radio voice.
Oh my God. Thank you so much. That's so kind of you.
So I'm excited for people to listen.
Yeah. In high school, my choir director said that my voice is reminiscent of warm chocolate.
Oh my God. That is a big compliment.
Yeah. She was obsessed with me.
You're like, okay, stop.
Yeah, this 6-year-old woman was like, oh my God, I'm loving this.
So silky smooth.
Right. I'm like, girl, you're not my type.
So fair.
Yeah.
Well, and in big news this week, you got your nose pierced.
Yes. Yeah. My first piercing, it was a big, scary undertaking, but I'd wanted to do it for a long time.
You have the perfect nose for it.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
I've been really really happy with it. No infection yet.
Which is actually really impressive.
Yeah. The saline solution, everyone was like, just make sure you do it really consistently.
Yeah.
And we went to a really, really nice, reliable piercing studio that I won't name because they don't pay you.
They literally don't. Yeah.
But once they do, I'll let you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm really happy with how it's turned out. I'm excited to have a hoop like you in 6 months.
Totally.
Yeah.
Do you feel like a different man now that you have a nose piercing?
I do. I feel a lot more like alt gay.
Totally.
Like I moved to Chicago. Like I'm living in the city. I'm a creative for my job. I needed a piercing.
Yeah, and it's only right.
Yeah.
It was about damn time.
Exactly. I will say my work crush, he has the exact same piercing, and I was so worried that everyone at the office who knew that he was my crush was going to be like, you're just copying Jordan.
Well, it's always so funny. Someone recently, I think it was Aubrey, asked me what my type is in terms of women.
Yeah.
And I was like, unfortunately, it would be like the exact replica of me.
Okay.
It's like, I don't know if I want to date them or be them.
That's very fair. Yeah. And I will say, I'm the same way with men.
Yeah.
And I think it's because we style ourselves the way that we think is attractive.
Of course.
So we're obviously going to be attracted to what we style ourselves to be.
Yes.
Yeah.
It makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
It's actually just science.
Exactly. Like when I say what my type is, I say Adam Driver, where in the wrong light, he looks like an alien. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, yeah. I can see that. Mm-hmm. Yeah, totally.
Thank you so much.
Love that for you.
Thank you. I try my best.
It was actually really funny because yesterday we were speaking of nose piercings, we were at a friend's birthday party and I didn't get to change clothes. Mm-hmm. And we wound up, the night progressed and they were going to a fashion pop-up that we weren't originally planning on going to.
Oh, okay.
And so we went, but I was like, obviously I would have dressed way cooler if I knew I was attending this event. And we got there and everyone was extremely alt, as cool as you could possibly be.
Yeah.
And James was like, damn, at least I have my nose pierced. Oh, no. Otherwise we were easily the most vanilla looking people in the room.
Oh my gosh. Well, also a fashion pop-up. I have never heard of that before.
Yeah, it was kind of, you could shop the event, but I think it was mostly just kind of I don't know if I would call it he was launching a collection or really what. It was honestly just a party in a warehouse, but there were clothes that you could purchase.
Okay. And there wasn't a run, there weren't people modeling this collection. Okay.
Yeah. Kind of just vibes.
Wow.
And clothes on racks.
How would you describe this designer's style? What famous designer would you compare it to?
Honestly, that is such a good question. It was maybe giving a little bit of a Balenciaga vibe.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah. It was streetwear though, but he had these really cool cargo pants that had kind of strings draping off of them.
Oh, interesting.
That were the length of the pant.
Okay.
And then a collection of sweatshirts that had this giant kind of X looking pocket on it that was but it started at the shoulders.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that does sound very Balenciaga mixed with like Supreme.
Right? Yeah, totally.
Yeah. Okay, fun. Oh my gosh.
It had like definitely like the Kim K Balenciaga vibe.
Yeah.
You know.
Okay. I respect that vibe. It's not my vibe, but I respect that journey.
100% same. It was funny because I was like, James, do you want me to buy you something? And he was like, I am not cool enough to wear these clothes.
Oh my gosh. I'll make sure to let him know that he absolutely is cool enough.
Well, and he was like, I think I would have to take steps to get there. And I was like, that's just a mindset.
Yeah.
You can actually wear whatever you want.
Oh yeah. The outfit is the step that you would take.
Right.
Because the only thing that makes you not like look cool enough to have the clothes is that you're not wearing the clothes.
100%.
Yeah.
So true.
Yeah. What do you feel like is like your aesthetic thing that you will like don if you want to like be more alt?
That's a good question. I feel like for me, I was also one of the only people in the room wearing color. Everyone was in black.
Oh, okay.
Everybody. And I was wearing like my denim jacket where I was like, totally. I had a little scarf on. Like it was not giving fashion girly.
It's giving Old Navy?
Yeah,
okay.
Definitely. Kind of maybe like the Gap.
Elevated Old Navy. Yeah. Rich person's Old Navy.
But I feel like for me, it really depends. I do feel like I have my hair working for me in terms of, you know, being maybe a little more alt.
Yeah.
So kind of dressing that up, but less color, I think helps.
Yeah.
Also mixing patterns. There weren't a ton of patterns in the room, but I always feel like that's like, people are like, oh, she's pulling that off. Even if you're not.
Yeah.
Like I feel like people, if you see someone who's good at mixing patterns, even if they clash, you're like, but she's wearing it on purpose,
confidently.
You know?
Yeah. And I feel like mixing patterns and like maximalism is so in right now.
So in right now.
That if you're not doing it, it's like,
right, what the hell are you doing?
Yeah, why are you even here?
How would you describe your personal style?
Oh gosh, I think I've gotten more into like neutrals and basics.
Totally. You gotta love a basic.
Right.
You can't go wrong.
Yeah, and I'm trying to explore being a little bit more alternative, but I'm so drawn.
Hence the nose piercing.
Hence the nose piercing. But I'm so drawn to like elevated lumberjack.
Okay.
Like, almost like
Slay.
Yeah, Denver flannel where it's a flannel shirt,
Yes.
but it's like a nice fitted slim fit flannel.
100%.
So I that's like my main go-to, but then like with a touch of gay added in there.
Totally.
Yeah.
You gotta sprinkle it in.
Exactly. Like I have to let the girls know
100%.
what I'm offering.
So true.
Yeah.
I think it's fun. I've had so much more fun getting dressed here in Chicago.
Yeah.
Because people don't really think twice. Like compared to Madison, people in Madison do not dress up. It's very boring.
Oh, interesting.
I don't know what it is. I think it's just like the laid back culture.
Yeah.
/ like maybe because it's a college town. But like, yeah, you can't escape. Actually, I think elevated lumberjack would fit in very well.
Oh, yeah.
Because you can't escape a flannel in Madison.
Yeah.
But I've had more fun getting dressed here. It's also been interesting. Like my style has changed since having short hair. I think I used to dress a little bit more androgynous when I had long hair because like that was kind of a fun kind of reverse thing to do. But now that I have short hair, I dress much more feminine. So yeah, and like I used to really never wear like skirts, dresses, but now that's usually my favorite thing. They also happen to be incredibly comfortable.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I feel like just like the fabric of like a nice flowy long skirt just seems delightful.
It really is, especially in the summertime.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
This was the first year. So I've been in Chicago now for 5.5 years. This has been the first winter where the moment it got below like 60 degrees, I was like, I can't fucking do this anymore. And I'm like, oh no. And we're still only in February.
I know, it is so sad. Thank God Puxatawny Phil said,
oh my God.
Short winter.
Did you know that that's what the groundhog's name was?
I mean,
Puxatawny Phil. Whatever.
Yeah.
I just heard that for the first time like
this year?
Week, literally.
No
and
way.
I was like, what is this cultural moment that's happening? Before
You
I realized
didn't
it was
know
the
his
groundhog.
name?
No, I thought it was
You were familiar with the practice of Groundhog Day.
Yes,
Yeah.
I am. I know all about the ambiguation Groundhog Day.
Yes.
And the idea where like it's a lot of deja vu.
Yeah.
I haven't seen the movie.
Okay.
I haven't seen the musical, but I understand the journey.
Totally.
But I didn't realize that was this groundhog's name. So I was
Puxatawny
like,
Phil.
why is everyone talking about this person? Is it from like Real Housewives? And then I was like, no, it's the groundhog.
Somebody, I think it was a TikTok, some girl's boyfriend texted her like Feng Shui, he like did not know the name. Yeah. Feng Shui said early spring
it's
or
a close
something.
name.
Yeah. But I believe Madison, I think it's actually somewhere in Sun Prairie, so in the burbs. They have their own. He has his own name. I don't know.
Oh, interesting.
They have their own groundhog.
Groundhogs are like big in Wisconsin. Or badgers.
That's badgers. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. Groundhogs might have a presence as well. But
they just seem really like they've got to be related on a family tree somewhere.
Probably.
Yeah.
That would actually make total sense.
Actually,
cousins.
I couldn't point out a groundhog. If there was like a lineup of badgers, raccoons, groundhogs, like that type of animal.
Right.
I don't think I could point out a groundhog.
I actually don't even really know what those are. Like, are they rodents? I don't know. Maybe not.
I would think so if they're like traveling through tunnels underground.
So true.
But
seems like a rodent type of thing to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't really know my animals like that.
Yeah.
But I do trust the practice because he has recently, in the last several years, I think this is the first early spring we've gotten in a long time.
Yeah, and I will say so far it's proven it for here in Chicago.
Which, I mean, maybe it's kind of like that was maybe already happening and he was like, we're just going to roll with it.
Yeah. I got my tarot read for the first time.
Oh my gosh, fun.
Yeah, and it was very intimidating and everything was like in par with every other horoscope thing that I saw. And I was like, wow, either something is in the ether or she read what cancers should expect. And I was like, I should be like, let's collude with other tarot card readers and align on what we're going to tell cancers.
Right. Yeah. Did you pay for this?
I did. I paid $30.
Okay.
I went with a friend and it was my first time.
Was it in the city?
Yeah, it was in the city.
Okay.
It's I had a very nice time. It's right across the street. It's in East Lakeview on Broadway, across the street from the Mariano's Export mega building, but it was lovely.
So what is the process? Because I know that tarot card reading is different from like a fortune teller.
Yeah. So I paid $30 and I got to ask 3 specific questions.
Okay.
She pulled out her tarot card deck. She pulled out a couple and she said, pick which one is calling your name.
Oh my gosh.
So I picked the tarot card deck that was a little more intricate of a design. I thought that was fun. And then she cut the deck in half and she said, okay, ask a question. And she was like, give it a time frame of within the next 6 to 12 months, where do you see ... So I would ask the question like, where do you see my love life in the next 6 to 12 months? She would lay down 3 cards and she'd say, pick which card is calling your name. And then
wow, very much choose your own destiny.
Truly. So it's like if you get bad news, it's like it's your fault.
Right.
Yeah.
So true. You only have yourself to blame.
Exactly.
Are you comfortable sharing any of the things that she told you?
Yeah. So the first one was about my love life.
Okay.
And she flipped it and she was like, cool. So I don't see much happening for you in the next 6 to 12 months.
Oh, shit.
And I looked to my friend and I was like, are you fucking kidding me? Because that has been a very high priority for me is locking somebody down.
Yes. You want to find love.
Yeah. She was like, just don't get your hopes up for the next 6 to 12 months. Okay. I was like, cool, that's great.
Yeah, I can't wait for 2026.
Yeah, literally. And then I asked about my career. I was like, where do you see my career in the next 6 to 12 months? And she was like, you're going to have a moment of fame or notoriety. I don't know how big it will be, but you will.
Perhaps it'll be this pod.
This is it. This is my moment. But then she was like, you will get taken advantage of at work and it will make you leave.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So now do you have your eyes peeled? You're like, which one of you
is going to take advantage of me? Yeah. I went up to my boss and I was like, hey, Rob,
I love that.
I heard this from a tarot card reader. So watch your fucking back.
I don't fucking trust you.
Yeah, literally. Yeah. Straight man.
Totally. Yeah. Actually, never to be trusted.
Right. Truly. Yeah. Even though he is a creative, so he's an ally.
Okay. So fair.
Like he knows.
He's like a James.
Yeah. Honestly, they would get along really, really great.
Okay.
Yeah. He loves Photoshop.
Okay.
He loves InDesign. Loves Helvetica.
Wait, that is I actually love that as a descriptor of a person.
Yeah.
Loves Photoshop.
He knows all about Adobe.
Yeah, that actually, I can kind of read that person though. Like I see them in my mind.
Yeah.
So straight guy loves Photoshop.
Yeah. Also wears flannel.
Totally.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, so then I asked about my career and then I asked about my mental health journey. I was like, where do you see that? And she was like, I see a lot of instability. So this tarot card reader destroyed me.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. And my friend who was with me, Kelly, was just like, I tensed up after every question because I know all of those answers triggered you.
Yeah.
So that was my first tarot card reading.
Oh my God, that's an intense experience.
Yeah. But I am trying to be resilient and say, if that is my journey, that is what my journey is. And
Love.
if she's wrong, then I'll have good things happen.
Yeah, so true.
Yeah.
We're praying for her downfall.
Yeah. Have you ever gotten your tarot read?
No.
Is it something that interests you?
It is. I feel like there are certain things like that I've like never really, I mean, I guess I've like had my tarot read by friends, but that feels maybe like we're just pretending.
Yeah, you're so right. You're so right. Yeah, fuck your friends.
Yeah. Cause like you can study it.
Yeah.
And like, I believe you can get licensed in the ability to give other people readings, which none of my friends have done.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of like, I'm taking this with a grain of salt.
Yeah. Don't put too much weight into what your friends tell you.
Yeah. Also people who shouldn't be trusted.
Right. Yeah. Liars.
Yeah. Seriously.
All of your friends are liars.
Yeah, and I've always said that about them.
Yeah.
But I also have interest in kind of like the Reiki. Like I like that world.
Okay.
My mom has a friend who is like a certified Reiki, and my friend Sophia has gone to her a couple of times. Like when she has been like trying to figure next phases out in her life and things like that. And my mom's an artist, and she was moving from our upstairs studio where she had a really small room in our house that she was mostly painting in to the basement a couple years ago. And our basement is massive, but my mom was having a really hard time going down there to paint. She was like, I can't figure out why, but I'm really struggling. And her friend came over and like saged the space with her and then like did a little Reiki on her. And my mom ever since she was like, even if like it is placebo,
Yeah.
the act of like just doing something to get in a different mindset really helped me. And now she can go down there and paint. So
Oh my
like,
God, that's amazing.
Yeah, I think that's cool.
Yeah. I honestly, the idea of the placebo effect, I think is so much more valuable. Like people chalk it up as like a negative thing.
I know.
But I think it's the exact opposite.
I think so too.
Yeah. If it improves your life,
Right.
then it's working.
That's the whole point.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
like
it's all
it did
made up.
exactly what it said it was going to do, you know?
Literally.
And so kind of like that world of like energy healing, all of that is fascinating to me. I'm such a like, I love to dabble in the woo woo,
Yeah.
but you know, I live day to day with Western medicine.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So-
What's like the most woo-woo part of your daily life?
That's a good question. It very much varies because I feel like there are times when I've tried to do things like meditate, which I'm really bad at.
Yeah.
It's really hard to make it quiet up here. And then, you know, like obviously paying attention to astrology and trying to kind of like get into that world. I also have a couple friends who I've never gotten super into it myself, but have gifted me with crystals.
Oh, okay.
So sometimes I'll try to do the thing where you put them in the sun
Yeah.
and you're trying to follow the rules. But I like, yeah, it comes and goes in waves. What about you?
So I'm not the most woo-woo person in the world.
Yeah.
I would say it's like a tie. I drink a lot of just like loose leaf tea, which isn't inherently woo-woo.
Totally.
But
it counts. It counts.
Yeah, I feel like if like a straight man came up to us and was like, "You're drinking loose leaf tea, you must be witches."
Totally.
Like it feels just inherently woo-woo.
Yeah.
But I'm reading a book that my therapist recommended. It's called Walking the Tiger.
Okay.
It's by Peter Irvine, I believe. It's a book about trauma and how trauma is stored in the body. And it's like there's a type of therapy that's very holistic about like physically releasing that trauma.
Totally.
Which feels very woo-woo, but so far it's been really fascinating.
Yeah, that's dope. Yeah, I'll have to check that out. I love stuff like that. I feel like if you can, even if it feels like you're tricking yourself into believing something, like that's kind of what life is about.
Yeah. Yeah. Just make yourself feel better. Yeah.
You got to do that on a daily basis.
Exactly.
Okay, well, I would love to get into your good, bad, ugly.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
So let's start with your good.
Okay.
I can't wait to hear what you have in store.
So my good right now is movie theaters and other Y2K experientials
Okay.
are back, and I'm so
true.
happy about it.
So true.
And
Experiences are back.
Yes, like going to a roller rink, like things that we would do when we were like 8 or 9
Totally.
are now retro, which is
Yeah.
one, wild that we're that old,
I know it is.
but two,
crazy.
there's something so charming about it. Like go with your friends to a roller rink is delightful. Going with your friends to the movie theater is delightful.
That's so true. And I feel like movie theaters are very much back on the up and up. I haven't been to a roller rink in forever.
I went last year. It's so much fun.
Yeah,
it's like
that's
$10.
awesome. Right.
Yeah.
And then you just do the rental. That's great. I did get a pair of skates this year.
Skates or blades?
They are skates.
Oh my gosh.
Because I kind of wanted the retro vibe.
Yeah.
I will say it is quite literally based on aesthetics alone.
Oh, understandably.
I think they're much harder to skate in.
Yeah.
I think I also will need to purchase a helmet, knee pads, and elbow pads.
Very important. Yeah. What do your skates look like?
They're like kind of like a nude pink kind of color.
Ooh, okay.
I believe they have orange wheels.
Fun.
They're like very like retro 70s.
Fun.
Yeah, I'm excited. I haven't broken them out yet. They're currently collecting dust in the garage, but
You need a helmet and pads before you do that.
honestly, safety first.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, that's so fun. Even like going bowling, like which we've
Yeah.
done a couple times now, is so, which does feel, something about bowling feels inherently retro.
Oh, yeah.
The shoes, the smell of the...
Every bowling alley smells the same.
Yes.
It's the same carpet. None of them have been updated. Like the newest bowling alley I'll find will have carpet that's like, do you remember that show Zoom on Nickelodeon?
Of course.
The carpet looks like a Zoom set.
That's so
It's
true.
Little bits of neon,
Yes.
but like black, like night sky is the base of it.
Yeah. I
It's
feel like
strange.
for a little while that was also like the seats on the bus.
Yes.
You know, that
Yeah.
vibe.
Yeah. Which I really like that vibe.
I know, same.
I would love to do in my like dream home when I'm older, do a movie theater basement, but like
Oh, classic.
very late 90s, early 2000s movie theater vibe.
So
with that.
fun.
Yeah.
Did you have any friends who grew up like movie theater basement kids?
So nobody that I went to like high school and middle school with, but one of my college friends, I went to visit her family for spring break one year and I found out she was a movie theater basement kid.
Totally.
I was like, I have had a rich friend this whole time and didn't
literally.
know it. Like that is my sign of wealth. When you have an extra room that you just put chairs in.
100%.
Oh my God. You have a
A
blank
big
wall.
screen.
Literally. And looking back, I'm like, you don't actually need much. Like
You-
it's
yeah,
literally
so
chairs
true.
and a wall.
So true.
But like something about it. And she
Glamorous.
yeah, she had the popcorn maker too, like the
Oh my
standing popcorn maker.
God.
That in my mind, I was like, oh my God, thousands of dollars, but you can probably get them for like 200.
For sure.
Yeah. How
That
about
was
you?
like the height of luxury. We did. My friend Danielle was the movie theater basement girl.
Was that like her most like rich person thing in her home?
I would say yes.
Okay.
Yeah. And I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, Danny, but I believe her dad also like built these in other people's homes. Like that was literally his gig.
That's an amazing job.
Yeah, so,
Movie
like-
theater builder.
She had the industry
Wow.
in the home.
Oh my gosh.
So she was like always the one who had the sleepover.
Yeah.
You know, because
Oh, that's fun.
and her family always had great snacks. They didn't. I don't believe they had the in-house popcorn maker, but individual bags of chips were always available, and a
Oh.
mini fridge in the basement with soda.
Oh my gosh. What's
Yeah.
your soda?
So I actually don't drink a ton of soda. And growing up, I like my parents never really had soda in the house, but when we would get it, my parents had bad taste in soda.
Oh, okay.
So my dad was a big squirt guy.
Oh no.
Big squirt guy.
Interesting.
Yeah, sort
Okay.
of an odd choice.
Yeah.
Have you had squirt?
Yes, but I only in elementary school I discovered squirt. Somebody brought it to a movie day in class for everyone, and they were like, "Okay, we have a secret trick with squirt," and they brought in a gallon of lemonade. So they just mixed squirt with lemonade, and
Okay.
we were all obsessed. Like every fifth grader was like going home to their parents and being like,
course,
"You
we
need to go
have
get
to get
squirt and
this."
lemonade." I've discovered the best drink ever.
Little mixologist.
Yeah, so that was my squirt experience.
Well, squirt to me is easily the most carbonated soda
Yeah. Oh, it's
I
mostly
have
air.
ever had.
Yeah, it's mostly air.
Literally. So dad was a big squirt guy and my mom was Pepsi,
Oh, okay.
which I'm kind of just like, why not Coca-Cola?
I'm so fascinated by people who are Pepsi people.
It makes no sense.
Yeah, my brother's a big Pepsi person.
It's the wrong choice.
It feels too soft.
Yeah.
Like, Coke feels like sharper.
I agree.
Yeah.
Like to me, Pepsi just kind of tastes like I left my Coke out for a while
Yes. Yeah.
and it is no longer carbonated.
Yeah. I will say my grandma was an RC cola person,
Okay, classic.
which is even wilder.
Yeah, that is a crazy choice.
Like who even finds RC anymore?
So true.
Yeah.
And for the most part, I feel like, you know, that's something you do in private.
Yeah, yeah. I have no problem with RC people. I just don't want that in my household. Like, just don't do that in front of me.
Right. Keep
Yeah.
it in the home.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Like, don't try to make me drink your RC.
No.
Yeah,
Disturbing.
yeah. But that's good that like you didn't grow up with a ton of soda. I feel
Yeah.
like that's why you're well adjusted.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's actually the only reason.
Yeah.
But yeah, if I do go for a soda, I would say I'm a Coca-Cola girl. Usually a Diet Coke.
As you should. We love
Especially
that.
from McDonald's. A Diet Coke from McDonald's.
Okay, they put
is really doing
something,
something.
They put something in their sodas. Like they've gone on record and been like, we put something in our Sprite to make it different.
Right.
Yeah. I got McDonald's for the first time in like a year, a couple
God.
weeks ago. It was the best experience of my life.
I know. McDonald's is underrated.
Yeah.
I love McDonald's, and I'm not ashamed to say it.
Yeah, it's great. What's your McDonald's order?
Well, I do have the one beef I have with McDonald's.
Yeah.
Is breakfast should be all day.
They tried that for a little bit, but it didn't get enough demand.
Which doesn't make any sense to me. In my opinion, their breakfast is the best. I like it better than their evening selection.
Oh my gosh.
I also think that 10:30 is an insane time to end breakfast.
It is very strange.
Such a weird time.
Yeah, especially like on a weekend, people want breakfast until like noon.
100%. Yeah. So my breakfast order, I usually do the egg McMuffin, egg sausage McMuffin.
Okay.
And then love the hash browns. So I'll
Yes.
usually get one of those. And then there's smoothies, which are literally just sugar.
Okay, I've never had their smoothies before.
Iconic.
Okay.
Definitely tooth rot.
Oh no.
So you should expect that.
Okay.
Be
Noted.
prepared.
Noted.
But so good.
Okay.
And then I usually will also get like a large iced coffee.
Oh, lovely. A McCafe.
Yeah.
Okay.
Classic.
Nice. Very good and very eclectic.
Thank you.
Nice.
And then I feel like in the evenings, I'll usually transition to like a quarter pounder with cheese.
Okay.
I'll usually get a 4 or 6 piece chicken nugget.
The correct choice. Yeah.
And then for the dipping sauce, I'm a honey mustard girl personally.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then sometimes a soda, a Diet Coke.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Lovely. Nice.
How about you?
So since I go so infrequently, I'm not much of the breakfast person there. But if I do, I would do the egg McMuffin, but with Canadian bacon.
Okay.
A hash brown, and then I love orange juice.
I know. I love orange juice too.
I drink orange juice every day.
Yeah.
Like I normally start my day at home with like a cup of green tea and a cup of orange juice.
I love that for you.
Thank you. It's really delightful.
I used to go to sleep like when I was a kid. I loved orange juice so much. I would like be going to sleep thinking about how excited I was to wake up and have a glass of
That
orange
was
juice.
literally me last night. I drank some Delta 9 last night. And I was blasted.
Crazy.
I was blasted. I went crazy. I do these crazy things, but it was like 10 p.m. and I was laying in bed and like
Thinking about your orange juice.
I was like, I can't go to sleep because I'm so excited for breakfast. Like I need this breakfast right now. Meanwhile, I had just had like 4 Krispy Kreme donuts at 9 p.m.
Totally.
Yeah.
As one does on a Delta 9.
Which, oh my God, Sam, you have to try Delta 9. It has changed my life. Every person that I've had try Delta 9 has been like, I don't know what happened, but I became a different person.
Totally.
Yeah.
I have never tried it.
Okay, I'll get you a can.
Okay. What is the like typical dose? Are you just drinking one can?
So I took a can. So each can has 20 milligrams
Okay.
of hemp derived THC.
See, that's crazy to me though, because if I took a 20 milligram gummy, I would die.
Here's the deal. Same. I take 5 milligrams of an edible.
Yeah. I'm a 2.5 girly.
Oh my God, skinny.
So skinny.
But no, yeah, so I do like a 5 milligram edible, but this was a 20 milligram can. So it seems
Okay.
like it's just not as strong.
Okay.
But it's like the pace of a White Claw where the come up is really fast.
Okay.
The come down is like a little bit faster than an edible.
I see.
And it doesn't like make you tired. It just makes you like a loopy high.
Okay. That's fun.
Yeah.
Silly.
It's fun. But yeah, so we each took a full can.
Totally.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're so brave.
Honestly, I've been through a lot, and consuming Delta 9 has been my biggest journey.
And do you smoke a lot of weed?
I don't smoke a ton of weed,
Okay.
mostly just because I don't have the paraphernalia. I
Totally.
don't like dealing with lighters.
Yeah. I get that.
yeah.
I'm not really into fire either.
You're not?
Yeah, I would
Interesting.
say.
Okay, I'm gonna go tell the team. But no, I'll happily smoke if like friends are smoking and they
Yeah.
hand me something. But it's too much of an ordeal.
I understand.
So that's why I've really liked Delta 9 is because I can just like sip it like a Propel.
Totally.
Yeah.
Do you drink a lot of Propel?
No, but I wish. Propel was, I feel like everyone was drinking Gatorade and then rich kids were like, have you tried Propel?
Yes.
0 calories.
So true.
Yeah. But it is truly like Propel mixed with weed.
And
It's wild.
what better combination?
It's an upper and a downer, so it makes it just same level.
Does it have electrolytes?
I hope so. because otherwise I'm not getting anything out of it.
So true.
Yeah. Or nootropics.
We'll have to look into that. Yeah. Buzzword.
Yes.
Major buzzword. Okay. Well, what is like an experiential event? What should we plan next?
Oh my gosh.
I would maybe love to go to a roller rink.
Yeah. Okay. Well, so there's one on the south side that I went to like a year and a half ago that was super duper fun.
Okay.
We can find some, honestly, probably out here in Logan. I bet there are some. And it's like $8 to $10 for unlimited skating. You can go play like crane games. It's amazing. Like we talk about how expensive it is to like do things in the city, but it's because we're
doing the wrong thing.
Yeah. Yeah. You can go to a bowling alley. You can go to a roller rink. You can go see a movie.
So true.
Yeah. But yeah, let's find a roller rink. Obviously, once you get your knee pads and your helmet,
we'll go for
because that's very important.
Run.
Yeah. You need that. I bike in the city a lot, and I biked for like 3 years without any helmets.
Jason,
I know. And then I fell off my bike and got a concussion. So I was like,
no.
This is God being like, I'm just going to give you a little concussion to teach you a lesson. So yeah, we can't have you roller skate until you get your helmet.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So did you get hit by a car?
No. I was on a divvy.
Okay.
Totally. And divvy, I'm coming for you. The gear shifted while I was doing a turn signal. So it shifted on its own, lost control of the bike, fell, and like hit my head. I was like down Clark. It was rough. Mostly I was just embarrassed because it was like a busy section and everyone was like, "Are you okay?"
Yeah, no, I totally
And I knew I
understand.
wasn't, but I didn't. I was just like, "Sorry."
Yeah. There is nothing more embarrassing than having an accident out of doors.
It is actually so embarrassing.
Yeah. I actually did get hit by a car when I first moved here.
Oh my God.
I was famously walking out of the WeWork.
Oh, okay.
And my WeWork was like in the River North area. And I was just on foot. I was a pedestrian.
Yeah.
And I was crossing the street. I had the right of way. I wasn't even jaywalking, but a man was doing a left turn onto my street, was not paying attention, did not see me. I don't know if the sun was in his eyes or what the fuck was going on, because he just plowed right into me.
Oh my God. Yeah. Did you sustain any injuries?
No, I was like fine. He was going pretty slow.
Yeah.
He knocked my wallet out of my hand, so I like ran across and it went into the car like on oncoming traffic. So I went to go get it and I like stumbled, but I didn't fall.
Oh my God.
So like ultimately I was fine, but my pride was injured.
Yeah. How did you react to it? Did you like yell at him?
Well, so I like was obviously pissed off, but I was also embarrassed. And he rolled his window down immediately and he was like, "Oh my God, are you okay?"
Yeah.
And I tried to think of something sassy.
Yeah.
to say back. So I went and grabbed my wallet and I turned around and I was like, "I'm fine. Thank you for asking." That's like all I could muster up.
Wow. So brave of you.
Thank you.
And that's how you and James met?
Yes.
Oh
How
my
did
God.
you know?
Such a fun meet cute.
And so then, of course, similarly, I made it across the street and there was a woman who was like, "Oh my God, are you okay?"
Oh.
And like, when you're embarrassed and someone asks you if you're okay, it really just expedites things. Like, I'm so close to crying.
Yeah. Oh.
And I was like, "I'm fine. I'm fine." And then I think it was my first like city girl experience of I got to the next block and I'm like, nobody here knows that I just got hit by a car.
Isn't it fascinating? Like your journey doesn't matter to these people.
No.
Yeah.
So then I like texted my friend Jake, who I had left the office with, but and I was like, "Oh my God, LOL, just got hit by a car."
Yeah.
Which I probably should have included that I was okay.
Well, yeah.
And I called James. And I was like, "I just got hit by a car." And he was working, so I could tell he was a little bit distracted. But he was like, "Oh my God, like, are you okay?" I was like, "Yeah, I'm fine." And he like immediately changed the subject. So I was like, "Okay, we're playing it cool.
Yeah.
We're trying to distract me." And then I like, chatted with him until I got on the train. And then I hung up and my coworker Jake texted me and was like, "Oh my God, like, are you okay?" He called me and he was like, "Is everything okay?" And I was like, yes, I am fine. I was like, "I have to go. I'm jumping on the train." Hung up on him. Kind of like couldn't stop thinking about it, obviously, when I was on the train ride home and I was alone. And then I got off the train and I was like, "Okay, I need to tell another man in my life." So I called my dad. And I was like, "Oh my God, I just got hit by a car." And my dad was like, "Are you okay?" And at this point, I'm sobbing. Like, I was crying so much. So I took a different route home so that like it was a less busy street and not as many people would see me in tears. And then I finally made it home. So I hung up on my dad, got upstairs, and James, who was still working in his office, was like, "I'm so glad that you didn't get hit by a car," is what he called out. And I was like, "What? I did get hit by my car.
Oh my God.
So he must have heard almost or something.
Oh.
So then he comes out of the office because I'm obviously in full on tears. And he's like, oh my God, I thought that you almost got hit by a car. And I'm like crying so hard. And he was like, is everything okay? He's like following me around the house.
Oh my God.
And then I went into the bathroom and I was like, I just want to be alone.
Oh no.
Yeah, so,
Oh my
you
God.
know, but otherwise we're all good.
Wow, the doors you've opened.
So true.
Well, I'm sorry you went through that. That's
Thank
awful.
you.
That guy's so rude.
So rude.
I'll go find him and avenge you.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
I'd actually love that.
Yeah, and kudos to you for like not immediately leaving the city once that happened.
Yeah, it was very like, it was like literally my second week of working out of the WeWork or
Oh my
something.
God.
It was so crazy.
And you're like, this is what happens in the big city.
I was like, yeah, here we
It's
go.
dangerous.
Yeah, you got to strap up.
Yeah.
That's why I need my knee pads, my elbow pads,
Yeah,
etc.
yeah. I'll start a GoFundMe for you.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
But that's kind of the experience that I had that I was like, okay, we have to be watchful at all times.
Yeah.
People, nobody's looking out for you
Yes, very fair.
in these city streets.
Yeah. Do you have a place where you are planning on buying that equipment?
I don't know. I don't
Okay.
even know where you find those things anymore.
Okay.
I haven't
Well,
had to buy a helmet in years.
Here's the deal. I have an inn
Okay.
at a really cool place.
Okay, you know a guy.
Have you heard of REI?
I think I'm familiar.
Okay, well here's the deal, girl. I'm a member at REI.
I didn't know you could be a member.
Yeah, I didn't either, but I got tricked into it.
Oh my God.
It's how I got my helmet.
Okay, love.
A friend was like,
Members only. Helmets are only for members.
well, literally, they trick you into thinking that like you can really only shop here if you have a membership.
Oh shit.
Yeah, but it's like a one-time $30 membership deal.
Okay.
And then they give you a $30 gift card in exchange. So in your head, you're like, oh, it's free.
Yeah.
And the
Girl
benefits
math.
for membership, truly. The benefits are like you get early access to items and you get like access to clearance items.
Okay.
But that's it.
Okay.
So I'm a member for life, but I don't need any of these benefits.
Okay. But so you don't pay like a monthly membership
Right. It's
fee
just
or
a
anything like
one-time
that.
$30 situation, but I am a member at REI, so you can use my membership benefits.
Thank you,
I just don't know what they
Jason.
are.
Early access to clearance items.
Yeah.
So maybe if they're putting those knee pads on clearance.
Right. Which nobody's wearing knee pads, clearly.
Yeah, so true.
They have to have them on clearance.
And people should start. People need to start wearing knee pads.
Yes, it's wild how few people, like even on Lakeshore or like the Lakeshore path.
Yeah.
How many people are biking and roller skating and all of that with no pads?
Not safe.
Right by the water too, which is genuinely so dangerous.
Right. Like you could literally drown.
Yeah. As somebody who almost drowned in Lake Michigan.
No way.
Yeah. I had to get saved.
Oh my God, you got
Yeah.
saved?
Yeah.
By like a lifeguard or a passerby?
A friend who happened to be a lifeguard.
Oh, okay. It's always
Yeah.
good to have those.
Yeah, it was awful. So
Always
I will
good to have those.
never go into the lake again.
Okay, so
Yeah,
fair.
unless I have knee pads.
Yeah, because that's really the only way to stay
Right,
safe.
exactly.
Okay, well, I would love
Mm-hmm.
to get into your bad.
Yes. Okay. Bad. I am now in the mood where I viscerally hate apartments that have like been scraped of all of their personality.
Thank you.
Like the 2014 new condo build where everything
Yes.
is gray, white trim, blank cabinets.
Uh-huh.
There's no detail. There's no nothing.
I know.
I'm like, this is fun and clean now, but it isn't going to have any value in like 5 years.
It has no charm.
Yeah.
There's no personality. I also don't even feel like it fits in. I mean, it's like taking the minimalist aesthetic too far. Like, I think you can do minimalist in a charming way. That's not it.
Yeah. It almost feels like it's going to turn into like 80s, 90s brutalism,
So true.
which literally feels like a prison.
Yeah. Right. Concrete box.
Yeah. Just no joy.
I know. And also, I feel like it has like a cheap vibe to it too. Like it
Yeah.
feels like it's being done in an inexpensive way.
Yeah.
But it's noticeably like, oh, this is actually gross.
And there are like 30 other identical buildings right next to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the most heinous thing though, because like it sucks when that's what you're building from the ground up. But I think it's even worse if you're gutting a beautiful building.
Yes.
And then that's how you're refurbishing. Like that to me is just such a disgrace.
Yeah.
Like you're sick if you do that. That is a sick, messed up thing to do.
Yeah. The only thing that I would ever allow is if there's like exposed brick in a place, I do support painting that white.
Okay, totally.
I'm
I
okay
see
with that. But like,
Same.
don't strip away anything.
I know.
Because it'll come back.
Right.
Like, I think Chicago is a perfect example of all of the architecture from like the Victorian era that's so intricate and ornate.
Yeah.
If they had gutted that like 30 years afterwards when it like wasn't cool anymore, we would lose all that. But now it's just timeless.
So true. Well, when I was first trying to move here, like I really wanted a classic Chicago walk up. I was like, that's actually the whole reason you moved to the city.
Yeah.
And then I wanted something that had like the vintage charm. And I stumbled on so many of the buildings that had like gutted it.
Yeah.
And then they were also still like charging an insane amount, which like, don't get me wrong, I love a fresh new appliance.
Yeah.
But other than that, like, don't ruin the house.
Yeah. What's your most important appliance?
For me, I think it's laundry and unit. I need that. That is something that it is so luxurious.
Yeah.
And I love being able to leave my clothes in the dryer for days and have nobody say shit about it to me.
Okay, chaos queen, we love.
What's your most important appliance?
Dishwasher. I could never live somewhere that doesn't have a dishwasher.
Yeah.
I'm like notorious for how many dishes I use.
Yeah.
I think I use 6 pieces of silverware every morning.
Oh my God, you know the exact number.
Yeah.
I need the breakdown.
Yeah. So I pretty much have the same meal every morning.
Okay.
You're
one of those.
Yeah. It's a 2-egg omelet with feta cheese, half an avocado.
Okay.
Then a piece of whole grain toast with peanut butter. And then, as I mentioned earlier, cup of hot green tea, a cup of orange juice, and then a glass of water.
Okay.
So the hydration, energy, and fun.
Okay.
Orange juice is fun. Green tea is hydration. No, green tea is energy. Water's hydration.
Okay.
So I will use a like cutting knife to cut open the avocado. I'll use a big spoon to scoop out the half of the avocado.
Totally.
I'll use a fork to scramble the eggs.
Yes.
I'll use a butter knife to spread the peanut butter. I'll use a spoon with the omelet itself of like move the pan around and like scoop some of the egg yolk and to make sure it all gets cooked.
That's 5.
Yeah. And then another fork to eat my breakfast.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
And that's just utensils.
That's literally just utensils. I use a large plate for the omelet, a small plate for the toast, and then a small bowl for the eggs.
Wow.
Yeah.
Eggs in the bowl.
Yeah.
Okay.
To scramble.
Oh, duh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah. So that.
You need a dishwasher.
I absolutely need a dishwasher.
You need staff.
Yeah. I mean, literally, all of the people that I've lived with in the past like 4 years have been like, this is insane. You have to run the dishwasher every single day. I'm like, girl, that's why we have a dishwasher.
Totally. That's like the whole point.
Yeah. Yeah.
I feel like I think the reason I could live without a dishwasher is I don't ever trust them to do their job for some reason.
Oh, okay.
So I do essentially, I still use it. But I feel like I pretty much clean the dish before I put it in there.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Which James is always like, I feel like you're doing more work than is necessary. But I'm like, I can't put it with like caked on food in there. Like, where the fuck does the food go?
It goes away.
Like,
I'm on Team James here. Like, you throw it in there, and then if it doesn't get clean, you just leave it in there for another round.
totally.
You just leave it in until it's clean.
And that works for you.
It does, except for avocado getting stuck on spoons. Dried avocado does not come off on spoons.
Yeah, that's one of those ones you actually have to work it pretty hard.
Yeah, which is really offensive. Thankfully,
especially since that's an everyday occurrence for you.
it is so often. But thankfully, my roommate is also a very good person, and he'll like realize that the same spoon has been in the dishwasher like 3 rounds. So then he'll just like hand wash it for me.
Okay, that's nice. So you do have some staff.
Yeah. It's a very conscious choice of mine to. We've talked about the baby mama,
dynamic.
baby mommy dynamic.
Yes.
I surround myself in my home with mommies.
Okay, love.
As a big old baby.
I will say that was never my intention and not what I first sought out James to be, but he has turned it into mommy in many ways.
That's the dream.
Now that he's cooking the majority of our meals, I'm kind of like, I have it made here.
Yeah.
And I can't pretend that I don't.
What's your favorite thing he cooks?
That's a really good question. He's been experimenting a lot. But one of my favorite things that we have brought back with us from the DR that like I formerly was just like a meal that I looked forward to when we were on vacation is his Dominican breakfast, which he was kind of talking about this morning. It's like this really good Dominican sausage that's like so salty. This fried cheese, queso de freír, and it's like it's a thick wedge of cheese. Nothing about this meal is healthy, so I should preface with like, you shouldn't probably eat this every day.
Hey, it's super fun though.
And then like over easy eggs. Usually we'll put the arish, like that yogurt cheese on top. And then my preference is to have this with something called mango, which I believe is, there's one that's like fried plantains and one that is, I forget exactly what the mango is, but it's like this like kind of mushy potato, like, I don't even know how to describe it.
Okay.
And you put like a pickled onion on top.
Oh, fun.
And it's literally delicious.
Okay. I feel like pickled items are like jumping up the ladder
Oh my gosh,
in
yes.
terms of how good they are culinarily.
Well, and I mean, you work in the food industry.
I am a foodie. Yeah.
So I feel like you probably know what's trending.
Yeah. That was actually something we were talking about. We had a meeting with our PR agency last week and we were just talking about like food trends and snack trends and like what's happening next and what we need to be looking out for. So it's very fun. We've got some good stuff coming down the pipeline.
And I can't wait.
Yeah.
Because I feel like even in general, like pickles had such a moment this year.
Yeah. Our company, not that I'm advertising my company, but we launched.
They're not a sponsor, so we're not mentioning.
Right. I will not tell you what Fox-based company I work for that is started in Chicago. I won't tell you to follow Foxtrot Market on Instagram. But we launched some spicy dill pickle popcorn.
Okay.
And it's so good.
That actually sounds delicious.
Yeah. Like spicy dill anything, dill pickle anything is just like perfect.
Well, and like we were saying, dill underutilized.
Yeah, underutilized in Western cuisine. I think there's so many spices that like people just need to open their eyes to from different cultures.
Yeah.
There's so much out there.
There really is.
Yeah.
And like, honestly, American food can be bland.
It's so bland.
Yeah.
Like the fact that people are just growing up like eating steak and potatoes with no seasoning.
I know.
Is wild.
Literally.
Yeah.
I know. I have a couple people in my life who definitely are like similar to how you have the same breakfast every day.
Yeah.
They have the same like dinner every day and it's like chicken and green beans. I'm like, that to me is so sad.
Yeah. That's very
really
boring.
sad.
Unless you're like if there's a health kick reason behind it or you're like training for a bodybuilding competition.
That is the only excuse.
Yeah. If you're not training for Ironman, I don't care. But yeah, it's just like, especially for people who we're very lucky. We live in a city that has so much to offer in the culinary space and in the food and beverage space that like take advantage of it.
I know. I do love that about Chicago. Logan in particular, I've had so many amazing meals in this neighborhood.
What's like your don't say the restaurant name because they're not a sponsor. But what's your favorite meal that you've had at a local restaurant here?
So I feel like there are a few.
Okay.
There is a New American, which I know we were just shitting on American cuisine, but a New American restaurant that is actually just down the street.
Okay.
Notoriously hard to get into.
Okay.
And we actually stumbled in there when we first moved here on like a random Monday or Tuesday. Right at like 5, so we were able to get sat. We didn't even have a reservation. I didn't know how popular it was.
That's amazing.
And they had a pasta that like changed my life.
What was so special about it?
It had like a white sauce. I believe there was like a mushroom base. I don't even know what all was in there. Incredible, creamy, rich, delicious. Okay. Small plate, but like you're full.
It wasn't like a cinnamon pasta, correct?
It wasn't cinnamon, but it did have a sweet element.
Okay.
Which some people are not into that.
Okay.
I personally love that. Like a brown sugar. I love that.
Okay. I think I might know the restaurant you're talking about, but we won't name it because they don't pay you.
Yeah, so true.
Once they do, then we will have a whole episode on it.
Then things will be major for them.
Okay, but no, that sounds absolutely delicious.
So good.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there's also a breakfast place that's like closer up by the actual Logan Square. And I have not had a single miss from there. Everything is so good.
What's been your favorite?
I had this like I don't remember even the name. I would have to look up on a menu. I believe it has Polish ties.
Oh, okay.
And it was kind of like, I think it was a little bit noodle based, but there was like all sorts of like meat and potatoes, and it was kind of like a scramble. I think there was an egg element. I don't know what was going on that plate, but incredible, amazing.
Oh my gosh, amazing.
And I was like, I would have never ordered it because I had no fucking clue what it was. But the waitress was like, I think you should try this. And they have really good specials. Also very hard to get into, so you have to be down to wait like 2 hours for brunch. But
oh wow. Okay, noted.
if you go into it with the mindset that you're going to be waiting a while.
Okay, noted. Yeah, I haven't really explored Logan Square culinary offerings very much because I live in East Lakeview, so
Yeah, I have some recs.
I'm not here very often, but I'll happily take all of your recommendations.
We have like whenever friends come to visit, there's like a pretty standard like here's where we're going for dinner, here's where we're going for breakfast. Like I have a little routine.
That's so fun. Yeah, doesn't it feel nice, like, because you guys have been here for a year and a half now,
Yeah.
where now you have people visiting and you're like, I can't wait to show you this place that I've discovered.
It feels like we're finally established, which is so nice.
Yeah.
And that's so fun, like being able to take people around to your spot.
Yeah.
There's no greater feeling.
Yeah. Yeah. Like we're people in our mid-20s living in one of the biggest cities in the country. Like we have such cool things
Truly.
like that we, I think, take for granted sometimes.
I know.
Just because it's so easily accessible.
Yeah. Yeah. And you forget that like not everyone has what we have.
Yeah. Like my mom is like going to Applebee's.
Yeah, totally.
They are not a
We won't
sponsor.
fault her for that.
Right.
Yeah.
It's just like different offerings.
Yes.
Yeah. And I do
actually
love
had
Applebee's.
I had a terrible experience last time I went to an Applebee's.
Wait, tell me more, because I worked at Applebee's in college.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Okay, we went to an Applebee's. My dad and I were running a half marathon the next morning.
Okay, brave.
And thank you. And so we were looking to, obviously carbo load, as one does.
Oh no.
And I want to say we were in Milwaukee. Oh my God, what is that giant mall area where it's kind of just chain restaurants and shops?
Okay.
Like Bayview or something, Bayshore. And we were staying in that area at a hotel. We wanted to find a place that would have like pasta offerings. And the only thing we could come up with was an Applebee's. Everyone was grumpy. Like my mom was pissed off. No one was in a good mood. Not a good headspace for going into the Applebee's.
Yeah.
And we got there and like no one was really in there, but they still were like, we're short staffed. We can't see you right away. So fine. We ended up like going and grabbing a glass of wine at the bar. My mom's wine glass came and it had like clearly like a lipstick imprint on it.
Oh no.
And my mom's like, so can I not drink out of this, please? For obvious reasons.
Yeah.
And then after, I'm not kidding, it was probably like an hour and 45 minutes. We like got sad. It was so long. And this restaurant was not full by any means.
Yeah.
And we got sat and they put us in this booth that was like all the way in the back for some reason. Like if you're going to have people sit anywhere, maybe not like next to the bathrooms.
Yeah.
And they put us all the way in the back. The booth smelled like diapers.
Oh no.
It smelled like straight like baby changing table.
Oh God.
It was like so I couldn't even eat my food.
I'm so sorry.
And everyone was grumpy. And then at the table next to us, that seemed to be like where the staff would go to like count their money and kind of gossip. And there was so much beef happening at this restaurant that I was just like listening to all the tea. But
wait, give me some of this goss.
it was a little while ago, so I'm not going to remember all the details. Okay. But there was one woman who had like slept with somebody's baby daddy. And so there was lots of drama happening. I think all three of them maybe worked at the Applebee's.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah. So it was definitely a little bit crazy. And we just were not being well taken care of that night either. So that was my last Applebee's experience.
Wow.
Probably won't go back.
That's very fair. Do you remember what you ordered?
No, it was something, maybe like the mac and cheese. It was
the 4-cheese mac and cheese with honey pepper chicken tenders.
That sounds right.
It's so good.
I famously do not like restaurant macaroni and cheese.
It's tough. It's very tough.
I'm more of a craft girly myself.
Ooh.
Is
more importantly, which cartoon?
Okay, well, obviously SpongeBob.
They're just better.
Yeah, they're just better. They hold the cheese in ways that I just don't even understand.
Yeah. Would you ever dress up your Kraft mac and cheese when you were younger?
I can't say that I did.
Oh, interesting.
I would love for you to expand on that.
Basically, I would make Kraft mac and cheese, SpongeBob, obviously, and then slice up a hot dog.
Okay.
So it would be like a real Italian dish.
Yes, yeah. Right.
Like it was like
In fact,
Olive Garden level.
Yeah. As close as you could possibly get.
Exactly.
So true. Maybe now that I think about it, I'm sure someone has put hot dog in my macaroni and cheese.
It's just like a great way to get protein.
So true.
Also, I kind of want to go to Applebee's now.
It sparked something in you.
Yeah. Here's the deal. I think you just picked the wrong thing.
Okay.
Like the chicken wonton tacos, fucking delicious.
Okay.
If you want a burger, I don't know if they still have it, but they for the longest time had an all-day brunch burger.
Oh my God.
Where it had hash browns, bacon, and a soft-boiled egg on top. And then you can get it with sweet potato fries.
Wow. I do love a sweet potato fry.
Me too. I've gotten really into sweet potatoes recently. Where like that's now part of my weekly
Nice.
grocery list.
Yeah.
It's delightful.
I don't really cook with them at home very often, but I should start.
They're really good. And I have a friend who works for the USDA and like food government for school lunches.
Okay.
And apparently sweet potatoes have they're packed with so many nutrients and like vitamins and minerals that they're not considered a starch. They're considered an orange vegetable.
Oh.
Yeah. So it's not just like regular potatoes.
Okay.
Yeah.
A healthy
Yeah.
alternative.
Yeah.
So then technically when you're eating sweet potato fries,
You're just eating a vegetable.
you're just having some veggies.
Yeah. It's like with veggie straws.
Delicious.
Yeah.
Okay, well, last but certainly not least.
Yes.
Ugly.
Okay. Ugly. I'm going to preface it with I love what I'm about to talk about.
Okay.
But it's ugly that it is like such a cultural stamp right now in the ether.
Okay.
Have you watched Traitors yet?
No.
Sam, you haven't watched Traitors?
I have not.
Okay. Do you know much about it?
I really don't.
Okay. So Alan Cumming
Yes.
hosts basically a game of Mafia. Do you know the game Mafia?
So only because Aubrey was recently talking about this, probably
okay.
inspired by Traitors.
Yes.
Yes.
So it's just Mafia set in a
I do
mansion
love Alan
in Scotland.
Cumming.
He's amazing.
Yeah.
I'm seeing Cabaret in the spring when I go to New York.
Oh,
and
fun.
obviously Alan's not in it.
Yeah.
But like seeing Cabaret is going to be a blast.
Absolutely.
Eddie Redmayne's going to play the MC, which will be super fun.
That is so fun.
Yeah. But no, so Traitors is ugly right now because it's like so camp. They're all in this mansion in Scotland and it's a bunch of like shitty reality stars from like 20 years ago.
That
like,
makes it even better.
it's literally like Y2K real world contestants and like
Love.
really old Survivor contestants. And it's like a powerhouse group. Like they got winners from all of these shows. They got really great Big Brother contestants and they're just playing Mafia in a mansion.
That's so funny.
Yeah. And there are 2 or 3 of them are traitors and they're just like murdering people every night.
That's incredible.
Yeah. And one of the traitors is Phaedra, who's a real housewife.
Okay.
And nobody has any idea that she's a traitor and she's just like killing people left and right.
That's so fun.
Yeah. So it's ugly because I hate that this is like the best thing I've ever seen in my life.
Totally. And we won't shame you for that.
Thank you so much.
I love your ties to reality TV because you have watched some of the best shows.
Really, really deep in there. I was
Yeah.
raised on reality television.
And I love that.
Yeah.
I think that actually explains so much about you.
Tell me what traits about me does that align with, and I won't be offended.
No, totally. I mean, I think just generally speaking, you're a very confident person. And I feel like that is because you have absorbed so much
Oh my God.
from these amazing iconic characters on reality TV.
Stop.
You have to be a confident person to go on a reality TV show, especially the kind that we're back. Like nowadays, reality TV is so watered down. It's not nearly as entertaining.
Yeah.
It used to be so raw, like, and genuinely so chaotic that the kind of things that you were doing on TV, like you just wouldn't do that now.
Literally, nobody had any idea what was happening. It was so
Yeah.
authentic, so unproduced, and like irreverent.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
If you had to audition for a reality show, which one would it be?
Okay, I wouldn't make it very far, and I know that about myself.
If you auditioned and you guaranteed that you would get on the show.
Bad Girls Club.
Oh my God.
I
Out
grew
of
up on
left
Bad Girls
field.
Club, and I found that to be endless entertainment.
Interesting. Okay, I would not have pegged Bad Girls Club for you.
Huge Bad Girls Club girly. And I just found that to be like so unbelievably funny. And those girls, that's another one where like,
Yeah.
obviously towards the end, they probably knew that you could get famous off of this show. But in the beginning, they were actually swinging at each other, like
Yeah.
getting in the craziest catfights of all time. And then they would just like go out.
Oh my God.
Like it was just them like literally fist fighting and then partying.
Okay, that's delightful.
So
and also
hilarious.
I love the idea of imagining you on that show being like very emotionally well adjusted and like, you guys, I don't really think we need this energy right now. I mean, while they're just like slapping each other.
No, literally.
Oh my God.
I don't think that I could like physically get in a fight, but I think I'd be a scrappy contender. Like
Yeah.
I could, you know.
Yeah. Like imagine if you were there with the guy who hit you with his car.
Yeah. Yeah.
That would have been such a good bad girl
the beef
fight.
that we would start.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
And it was just so dramatic. Like people would start fights on the smallest things. Like, you know, people who would not do their dishes in the Bad Girls Clubhouse. Like, it was literally just like shit like that. And then they would get into like a massive fight and just like start beef that I'm sure they still live with today.
Oh my gosh.
So incredible.
Okay, I love this.
It was so good.
They need to get some of the Bad Girls on Traitors.
Literally.
Yeah, okay.
I'm actually surprised that they're not, because I feel like those would be the exact kind of people you would want on that show.
I think there are a couple. So they already got renewed for season 3.
Okay.
I think some untapped markets are like Bad Girls Club. I think they need to get more Drag Race contestants. They had one on this season, but they need to do more.
Totally.
Because like gay people will be so messy on there.
Love.
And then they need to get Flavor of Love girls.
Yes.
Flavor of Love for me is the pinnacle of reality television.
That is my favorite thing about you.
Oh my God. Thank you so much.
I literally think that is so fucking funny. And you talk so passionately about
genuinely,
that show.
Season 1 is genuinely one of my favorite seasons of television of all time.
And that's iconic.
I think it's near perfection.
It was one of those shows. I think the only season I watched all the way through was New York's season. Was she season 1?
She was season 1, and then gag of the season, she got brought back partway through season 2.
Okay, totally.
Yeah.
I actually do kind of remember that. And that was just such a time when reality TV was so insane.
I mean, all these women were getting paid like $50 a day just to go hang out, and their idea was like, cool, I'll get $50 and like free meals for a couple weeks.
Right.
And meanwhile,
and live in this house.
It's changed their lives.
Yeah.
Some of like one of the girls went on to date Shaquille O'Neal. New York like has a career because of it.
Yeah, that's wild.
Yeah. She got on the show. Fun fact. She moved to LA to become an actress.
Okay.
2 weeks after she moved, she was in just some like consignment shop. Guy comes up to her and was like, hey, I'm casting for this new like dating show. I think you'd be perfect for it. Do you want to audition? And she's like, sure.
Incredible.
She got Flavor of Love.
Like the way that the stars aligned for her.
Yeah. And now she's had like 10 TV shows, and she's been writing this for going on almost 20 years.
That is so crazy.
Yeah.
And that's like when, you really couldn't count on it being a career move.
Yeah.
It was just something to do
just
for a couple of
thing,
weeks.
Literally.
Well, and what I didn't know that you opened my eyes to was how long they were actually in the house. Not that long.
Literally 2 weeks.
That's
max.
so crazy.
Yeah. To like fall in love with this man.
That's so crazy.
Yeah. Yeah.
I also love his aesthetic, like the clock, the hats.
It's irreverent maximalism.
Yes.
I think it would be very in right now. Like
so
golds
true.
and purples and greens and velvets.
I wonder if he still wears the clock.
I think he does. My friend actually met him at some sort of convention in Las Vegas last year, and he still wears the clocks, and he's like a very like nice, well-adjusted man, according to her.
And I love that for him.
Yeah, he's mother.
Totally. Which is not the assumption.
Right.
But that makes him all the more appealing.
Yeah, he's delightful.
He's taking care of those girls.
Literally.
Well, okay. So as far as Traitors goes, how long is the season and how long are they in the house?
So the season will be like 10 or 11 episodes. They're on like episode 6. So they're a little over halfway done. And pretty much there's a murder every night. And then, so beginning of an episode, they'll wake up, they'll go to breakfast, somebody won't show up, they've been murdered.
Classic.
And then throughout the episode, they'll have a little challenge to earn money. And then by the end of the episode, they have to banish somebody who they think is a traitor.
Okay.
So the season will be like 11 episodes long. 2 people go each episode around there, sometimes give or take 1.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I think since it's every night, it's also probably like a 2 or 3 week thing.
Okay.
It's super fast.
That is fast. Because how many do they start with?
I think there were 20 or 21 people this first time. And what's weird, they don't talk about it, but like everyone is dressed almost in like Sherlock Holmesy type garb, where it's like very European, very like we're in a coffee shop.
Totally.
But nobody talks about it.
That's even better.
Yeah, lots of like berets and turtlenecks.
And they're like, but this is not a costume.
Right. It's like, this is a murder mystery game, so we're going to dress up like we're in Clue.
That's really good.
Yeah.
So who are you rooting for?
Unfortunately, my people keep getting murdered and banished.
Oh no.
Thankfully, I still have a couple people there. So Parvati she's from Survivor. She's one of the traitors.
Okay.
And she is like...
Are you a big Survivor head?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. I've auditioned for Survivor before. I've had Survivor themed birthday parties. Yeah. That's like my thing.
Okay.
Yeah. And like, I will say this till my dying day. Survivor like dipped for a lot of people. Not many people were watching it. And then the pandemic brought everyone back. And now it's like cool again to watch Survivor.
Totally.
And I will fight anyone who like makes it their personality. And I'm like, I never left.
Yeah, right.
You're a fake fan.
So true.
Yeah, I have fought Aubrey about it.
Some of us stuck it all the way out.
Literally when it was real bad.
Totally.
But yeah, so Parvati, rooting for her. she's kind of the only one right now that I'm like super duper excited about.
Totally.
Yeah, and Phaedra is the other traitor right now. I saw something that was like, the gays are rooting for Phaedra, the queers are rooting for Parvati.
Oh my God, funny.
Yeah. So it's a very, very LGBTQ forward season, which is really nice.
That is nice.
Yeah.
That's fun.
Yeah.
It's fun to have. I haven't like had a reality TV show that I've like been really into in a while.
Yeah. Did you watch Golden Bachelor?
I did.
How was that? Because I feel like that also had a cultural moment.
I felt, because I hadn't watched a season of The Bachelor in a while. So, and I felt like obviously this one was bringing something new to the table. I was curious about it. At first I was like, this is really wholesome. And then I was like, actually, this is a little bit disturbing.
Oh, really? What was so disturbing?
I sort of didn't love it, because to me, for some reason,
Old people.
having these like sort of social experiments on people our age, it's like, you know what you're signing up for, and you probably are just trying to like have a moment in the spotlight. I feel like these older women were genuinely trying to find love, and it just felt like they were being so fucked with. I was like, I like don't know if I can continue watching this.
Oh gosh.
I saw it all the way through.
Yeah.
I also didn't love the way that they were talking about the fantasy suites, because I mean, I'm pretty sure
they were fucking.
I'm pretty sure he digged both of those girls down.
Damn. I mean, good. Good on them. I'm so proud of them.
I know, and like the way that they were kind of beating around the bush, but then like giggling and getting all red. Like I was like, this is I.
So that's a
ladies.
negative thing.
I mean, I'm happy for them, but at the same time, I feel like it's just so much more.
It feels real to them.
Yeah.
But like the producers are recognizing like they don't actually care if they end up together.
Right.
Yeah. Okay, I could see that.
And I also was rooting for Ellen, the pickleball girl, and she went home pretty early. So I was like, I'm pissed.
Pickleball is the fastest growing sport in America.
Yeah, that's actually crazy.
Yeah.
One of my clients is like doing a large pickleball campaign this year.
Oh,
they're partnering with like USA Pickleball.
Oh my gosh, that's so exciting.
I'm actually like, that's going to be fun to work on.
Oh my gosh. If you need to research, I joined a pickleball league.
That's
if you want to come watch.
I would actually love to. I've never played.
Oh my gosh, it's super
Yeah.
fun. I've only played a few times, but like I grew up playing tennis, so I've been transferring those skills.
Totally.
But it's been very fun so far.
And I feel like I would like it because it's like, I don't know, something about it is like an easier tennis.
Yeah, it's a lot easier.
Yeah.
And like a lot less physically demanding.
Slower pace.
Yeah.
Slightly.
Yeah.
Smaller court.
Right. Yeah. Are there any sports that you would be like dying to play?
I am notoriously not a sporty girl.
Shocked.
I can run.
Okay.
And that's what I was good at, which is sort of a solo sport. Team sports are way too much pressure for me. I am not a competitive person. I think it's because I'm an only child.
Oh, okay.
I didn't really have to compete for anything.
Which is great. Like it shows in your confidence. You're
Thank
like,
you.
nobody's on my level.
Yeah, literally. Nobody could even try. But the idea of kind of like competing for sport actually terrifies me.
Okay.
I think that that's a crazy thing that people do.
Wow. So you're not joining any intramural teams anytime soon?
No.
Okay. No.
Yeah, I miss running. I need to get back into it. It's been a little while.
Well, we have
and
a
that's
running
something-
opportunity coming up.
We do. I actually would love to do that.
Yeah.
Because there is something about signing up for a race that makes you actually do the damn thing. But yeah, I'm not a sporty girl. I love to watch. I'll watch a sport.
Yeah.
I will root for the kickball team. I'll root for the volleyball team, but it will be from the sidelines.
Appreciate that. Honestly, we love having fans.
It is so important to have a cheer squad.
Yeah, I think this year the team is really just like ready to kick ass and take names.
And I can't wait to see that. I can't wait to bear witness.
Thank you.
Well, Jason, thank you so much for coming on this pod.
Thank you for having me. This has been such a delight.
This has been so fun. You are incredibly good at this.
Oh my gosh.
So I would love to have you back.
Blushing. I would love to be back. Talk about these
Fantastic.
restaurants once they pay you to talk about them.
So true.
Okay.
Sometime I'll have to take you on my little tour of Logan Square.
I would love that.
That would be a sweet time.
I'll be there.
Well, something I'd love to ask my guests as we wrap up is your hater mode activated today?
My hater mode, thankfully, is like not activated today, which is surprising. Yeah.
That's good. Would you describe yourself as a hater or not?
And
so
generally,
much?
I do think I'm a little bit of a hater.
Same.
I am trying to be less of a curmudgeon.
Totally.
But I think we both just have high standards for people in our daily lives, people and things.
Yes. And we have lots of opinions.
Yes. And we're both creatives. Like we have opinions on things, and we have
And our opinions
yeah.
are correct.
Literally, if you fight us, you're wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I am a hater. Yes.
Okay, so did I just change your mind? Your hater mode is
Oh
activated.
God. I think I just turned into a hater today. I can't wait to go to this Super Bowl party right after this and go hate everyone.
And who are you rooting for?
I'm rooting for Usher. I'm very excited for the halftime show. I'm very excited to see which Y2K folks pop out and surprise us.
So true.
Fingers crossed, Nelly Furtado.
Oh yeah, that would be iconic.
Oh my God.
We need more Nelly Furtado on the scene.
Literally, where's Nelly Furtado been?
Where is that girl? Yeah. Honestly, that would be amazing. I also wouldn't be surprised if Taylor Swift came out just with all of the having a boyfriend in the Super Bowl.
Right. And if she can make it from the Japan tour, which is currently happening.
Okay.
Because I think she had a show last night in Japan. So everyone's like, is she gonna fly in?
Well, her private jet is getting some
Getting so
serious
much attention.
publicity.
Yeah. She's trying to get that guy shut down, the Twitter guy.
Yeah, I feel bad for him.
Yeah.
He's doing
what we all want. Yeah.
So we'll see. But I wouldn't be surprised. I think it would be unlike her not to show up.
Yes, I agree.
And it is so like her to have a boyfriend in the Super Bowl.
Oh my God, the dream.
Yeah. Maybe we'll all get there someday.
It's gonna have. I heard James is working real hard on it.
He's in the running.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
Well, thank you guys for listening. And thank you, Jason, for joining me. And we will talk to you guys again next week. Bye. And that's a wrap. I had fun. How about you? As always, thank you for living, laughing, loving, and most importantly, listening to my podcast. Want to stay in the loop? You can find us at Pessimistic at Best on Instagram, or if it's me you're looking for, that'll be at Sam Georgeson on all platforms. Don't forget to rate and review the show, and if bonus content is your thing, you can gain access to extra episodes by joining our Patreon. The link is in our show notes. And last but certainly not least, shout out to James for being the brains behind this operation. Couldn't do it without you, honey. Okay, see you next week.